A figure flew above the fringe trail, looking down upon it, searching for answers. She felt energy coursing through her as her breath vented through a technologically constructed mask, covering her nose and mouth. "Who am I?" she asked no one as she flew on wings that were also derived from some unknown tech. It had been a week since she had awakened to a room filled with people in lab coats. One of those around her began urgently trying to get everyone else to look at various monitors. That was when the strange purple and black fire sprouted around her. It was when everyone began screaming. "Be silent," a towering figure said, covered in oddly angled armor. "Project Omega Zero can only harm fools. Leave me alone with her and I will calm her." The others fled her in the presence of a being she sensed did not have good intentions. "Who am I?" she had asked. "You are Omega Zero," the armored figure said. "You are my creation, my weapon, my greatest success." "No," Omega said. "I beg your pardon?" The figure stalked over to Omega, yellow eyes glaring at her from behind a mask similar to her own. "You will do as I say. You were created to serve." "No," Omega repeated. She had felt the restraints holding her in place melt and burn away due to the strange fire that was pouring forth from her at an increasing rate. The large figure reached forward with a large, gauntleted hand to try and grab Omega, but she raised her hand, and one made from purplish fire extended to not only block the threat, but force the figure's arm away with such force that it made him reel in pain. "Zero! Comply!" "No." Omega felt a connection to something on her back. Wings. A rush of power welled through her as she raised her arms upward to unleash a torrent of the odd flame onto the roof of the room in which she had been awake. In an instant, she rushed into the night sky near a brilliant city with a series of towers at its heart. Below, she could hear the raging voice of the person that would call herself her master. Thoughts of the past returned to the present. Omega looked at Atlas Central, where she had existed for the last week, learning of the kindness of those that called it home. She had met a family of 3 that had given her food and a place to perch while resting. In exchange, she watched over their crops in the night to keep away early pickers and vandals. "I would call this land home," she said again to no one. "But who am I? Why do I feel like something is blocking my memories? And what of this curious path that surrounds the city itself? Why am I drawn to it?" For the last 2 days, she had tested both her skills with flying and the seemingly living flame that coursed through her, ready to be unleashed at the unwary. Flight was natural to her, as if she had spent a lifetime honing skills around it. She could climb, weave, adjust, and more. The most curious thing about flying was it gave her great joy. The family that had helped her was that of a pair of what had been revealed to be Warren. She was surprised to learn of the couple's ancestry. There were elves and humans that had been infected with lycanthropy in ages past. The cure, when found, brought cleared minds, but left physicality from the lupine transitions. Being third generation Warren, the couple stated they were both of the dusk variety, their family having kept the more wolfish aspects of the disease. In addition, the pair had a newborn that seemed to be exceptionally curious about Omega's face mask and horns. The little one was what prompted her to remove the mask to breathe fresh air. She opted to do so in the front yard in case it was relevant to her control over the living flames. The couple had watched, then nodded once it was removed. The mother of the family walked over with a mirror so Omega could see what lay revealed. A pale, silvery face with light blue eyes stared back at her. 2 implants rested below her horns that pulsed with light after the mask's removal. There was nothing terrifying about the face, aside from the odd skin tone, but something in her seemed to tell her she was accustomed to it. The long, twisting horns sprouting atop her head, though, were definitely somewhat new. The mask appeared to be what linked her body to the wings on her back, modifications that were not able to be removed. Smiling, Omega waved at the couple before placing the covering back over her nose and mouth. It was a comfort realizing that she could still talk without feeling completely artificial. In the week since her escape, there was one truly glaring fact about herself that came into sharp focus: her knack for thinking ahead. Before she departed the Warren family, she insisted they communicate with local authorities to look into an explosion to the south of their farm. She also made them promise to relocate in case whoever had been responsible for her incarceration came looking. After the three were safely in Atlas Central, Omega began scouring the odd trail that lay a mile from the outskirts of the city. There were farms on the southern portion of the trail, with a few shepherds guiding odd creatures along it. There had been no reason to involve others in her plight, as she sensed the flames within her were more than a capable defense. The Fringe Trail, as the locals had been heard calling it, was a place of recreation and material support for Atlas Central. It ran the length of the entire city, which meant a week and a half of hiking at a brisk pace. Now, on her second day of flight, Omega came upon a sight that she had not expected. And with that, I will see you all in the near future, and thank you for listening.